This is a video to share a little bit more about who I am and what I'm doing as well with this YouTube account, right? So I'm somebody who embraces life fully, right? I have a lot of rich emotions and I feel much more free in my life. I'm somebody who empowers others to live the best version of their life, live their life much more freely, and also celebrate every moment of their life because life is a gift to enjoy. My mission, my goal is to help others celebrate every moment of their life, to live a life with so much more freedom, so much more authenticity, right? And have much more meaning in their life. I'm somebody who grew up with stuttering or stammer, and I know how difficult it is to live with it. I'm also someone who has overcame their stutter or stammer, and I know the journey that it takes. And this is why I'm committed to helping people out, improve their stutter, and get to a place where they can speak much more fluently. They can celebrate their voice. They can accept who they are unconditionally, and just really be much more happier, much more in love with life, and have more meaningful connections. How do I do this? How do I help people out? I share free content. It's on my YouTube channel, which you're probably already watching. I also have an Instagram account and also a Facebook account. And I also share other formats of content on those two other accounts as well. I also have a stuttering coaching program, and this is a program that helps people transform themselves and get to a place where they are much more fluent, they are celebrating who they are accepting their voice, they are celebrating their voice, and they just express themselves freely. Why did I create this? Because I know how painful and how difficult it is to live with a stutter or stammer. All right, so that's a little bit more about me. I'll share 5 things about me, right, that has defined who I am, and also if these things have not been exposed to me, then I probably wouldn't be in the situation where I am today, right? And these are 5 like moments or situations, like big situations that has truly changed my life. But also each of these 5 things are learning experiences where I learned something new, and hopefully I'll share these things with you. So the first thing is I grew up with stuttering, right? So that's the obvious, but how has this shaped me? Now, on the journey of overcoming my stutter, I've learned so much more about my mind, my body, and my heart. And because I have a deeper understanding of it and I know how to manage this body and this mind and this heart, I always get myself to a place where I am the best version of myself. I have a lot more happiness, a lot more love, a lot more connections, a lot more meaning, right? So stuttering, I view it as a gift now because it's forced me to really understand myself. And and that thing that I've learned about myself, not one thing, a lot of things, has enabled me to overcome my stutter, but also I'm able to manage my emotions, manage my mind, and I'm so much more free in my life where I can do whatever I want. The second thing that has defined who I am and changed the course of my life. When I was 21, I had an out of body experience. And this is an experience like I never felt before. And it felt like my self or my voice was out of my body and I could hear myself like everywhere. The sensations I felt were very sensitive. I could feel all of my body. I could feel all of my emotions. And it was really weird. Like, it was such a weird feeling. But the one thing that I did feel in that moment was very peaceful. Like, it was a peace that I never felt before, and I never have. I was very peaceful. And in that moment, I realized a lot of things, but one thing that I do want to share that I realized from the many things I learned that in that moment, but the one thing that I learned was I am so much bigger, like 1,000, 1,000,000 times much more bigger than my actual stutter. And my stutter is a very, 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 very little part of me. It's like 0.00001%. And I felt it and I realized it in that moment. So that's moment or experience number 2 that has defined who I am. The third thing that has defined who I am. I have worked in 9 different industries and I have had over 10 jobs in my life. So I worked in a fish shop selling fish. I worked in a factory. I worked in construction being a laborer. I worked as a civil engineer. I worked in tourism photography. I worked in a call center for 4 years for an insurance company. And in the call center, I spoke to over 4,000 people. I worked in online marketing. Yeah, what else? Where else? I worked in the printing business, which was owned by my father. And I worked as a marketing consultant. Right? So I worked at so many different jobs, so many different industries. And a great thing about that journey or that situations was it exposed me to so many different people from different walks of life. Some people were young, some people were old, some people had different conditions. And the one thing I realized, which is my truth, is everybody has a unique gift to share. And when you discover that gift and you express it and you live it, you become much more fulfilled in your life. You become much more happier, and just everything just makes more sense. So my goal is to also help people discover and realize and express their unique gift to this world. Number 4, right? The fourth thing that you should know about me. I love soccer or football. As football is what they call it in Europe, soccer is what they call it in the US and also Australia. And I love soccer. And I used to practice a lot and I really wanted to be very good at it. And because I practiced a lot, I had a coach, and this coach taught me a very important lesson. And he taught me that the quality of your practice impacts the result that you get. So he always made me do the highest quality practice there is. And this shortened the distance or the time that it takes to get really good. So the quality of practice really matters. And learning this and truly understanding this, I applied it to all areas of my life. And I've achieved some pretty good things in my life. And this is something in my coaching program that I apply, right? And my goal is to make sure that my students or my clients have the best path to fluency as possible, right? I try to make sure that they're not wasting too much time and they are getting to where they need to go in through the best path possible. So that's something I learned, that the quality of practice really makes a difference. The fifth thing that you should know about me, and something that has really defined me and also has impacted why I am in service of others. I love, love, love yoga, meditation, and spirituality. These three areas, I love it. I'm passionate about it. And these areas, yoga or these practices, yoga and meditation, has taught me how to be much more fulfilled, how to be much more happier, much more in love, and have much more meaning in life. And I really believe that you and everybody else deserve to be happier, much more in love, and have meaningful connections, meaningful friends and family in life. And it's accessible to everybody and it doesn't cost anything. Right? That's the best thing about it. And because I understand it so much more, I teach it within my program and I help others just live a much more meaningful life. Yeah. So that's 5 things about me, and you can kind of see why I'm committed to helping others out, especially in terms of their stuttering, like improve their stuttering, because I know when you get to the other side, it's 100 times much more better, right? So that's a little bit more about me and also why I do what I do. If there's any questions that you have about me that you want to know more about me, if there's any, let me say that again. If there's any questions about my journey you want to know more, send me a message or an email. And yeah, and we can have a chat. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day and be happy.